For a few weeks on The Young and the Restless, former rivals Tucker, Trevor Street John, and Audra, Zulika Silver, play corporate chess, trying to outdo each other. Straight glissade. While we tend to think Audra is better at it because Tucker has been a wolf in this business longer than he has been, and technically owns the company, Audra is determined to steal what she believes she deserves. Well, on the June 13 episode of The Young and the Restless, Audra finally sits down with Tucker in Paris when he asks her out on a date. He explains what happened to Ashley, Eileen Davidson, and her diagnosis and claims that he can now officially close that chapter with her. Tucker claims he is completely over Ashley and was attracted to her because he felt guilty for causing her emotional distress. When he discovered that Alan's, Christopher Cousins, twin Martin was really the culprit, Tucker was freed. Audra thinks her ex is lying to himself if he thinks he's over Ashley, and we tend to agree. However, Tucker claims that he loves Audra and wants to be with her. He then sincerely offers her a glissade. He says he wants to step down as CEO and give him the role. Plus, he does it with no strings attached, and he doesn't have to meet her again for the mission. Tucker sounds very sincere. Then, in a shocking moment, Audra dumps him. He points out that she already went behind his back and gathered some board members to convince them to sell the company to an unnamed buyer. Once the sale is done, he will have the role of CEO anyway. Audra is quite conceited that she can get what she wants without Tucker, and hopes that her actions will hurt him. After all that, we have a feeling that Audra may have overplayed her hand here. First, the fact that he announced that the government had agreed to sell to an unnamed buyer raises eyebrows. What if Victor, Eric Braden, becomes the buyer? As he prepares an attack on Jack, Peter Bergman, the mustache is able to use a rival cosmetics brand under his umbrella to threaten Jabbat. If the buyer is Victor, there's a good chance he doesn't want Audra behind the wheel. We also can't rule out the possibility that there is no mystery buyer at all, but it's all about Tucker's ruse. It's possible he found out about Audra's plans and set his plan in motion to make it look like there was an offer on the table to buy Glissade. When some board members vote to sell and reveal themselves to Tucker as dealers, he shows his hand that there are no buyers. He then quickly rids the government of Audra's loyalists and Audra herself. Yes, he was almost ready to leave the business, but he could already have that system in place. He just hoped he wouldn't have to use it after he made peace with Audra. If none of these scenarios are true, maybe this one. Let's say there is a buyer and Tucker didn't know about it. After Audra's latest rejection, Ashley went to the hospital and Devin, Brayton James, still didn't really want to be involved with her, so Tucker has no one in her life. Would he also want to give up his business? We tend to think not. He was able to pull a last-minute stunt to stop the sale of the company, strip the board of merchants, and ban Audra de Glissade. Fans will have to stay tuned to see what happens next, but let's hope Tucker comes out on top. He experienced this recently